Assalamualaikum dear students. Hope you are well. I'm your English teacher from IOS school and I'm conducting class 9. So follow my instructions carefully. You should have your secondary stage English book 1 for class 9 and hold a pencil. You have to be attentive during the class, and if you have any query relevant to the topic, then at the end of the class you will be allowed to ask me the question in the chat box. During the class, I'll share a screen with you and you have to take a screenshot. Then after the class, you have to complete all the work. So today's topic of unit number 5 is healthy lifestyle, and in 5.1, the topic is health problems caused by mosquitoes. So let's start the reading. Health problem caused by mosquitoes, that is present in your book on page number 109. Malaria, dengue, and chikungunya. All three diseases are spread by mosquitoes. The symptoms of all these diseases are so similar that it can be quite difficult to identify them for sure without laboratory testing. But it is important to find out what the exact disease is for it to be properly treated. Let us try and understand something about the causes, signs and symptoms, similarities and differences, and the prevention of these diseases. As the topic shows, dear student, as the topic shows that the text is about the diseases caused by mosquitoes. So here it is very important for you to know about the diseases caused by mosquitoes like malaria, chikungunya and dengue are particular condition that negatively affect the part of an organism. These types of diseases are often known to be medical conditions that are associated with specific symptoms and signs, but it is quite difficult to identify them for sure without laboratory testing. So, my dear student, it's a time to know about the sign and the symptoms, causes, similarities, and differences, and the prevention of these diseases. Now, I'm going to read out the text about malaria. Very first, I'm going to read about the causes. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium, a single-celled parasite often transmitted by infected mosquitoes. It is injected into a person's circulatory system through the saliva of the mosquito. The parasite infects the red blood cells until they burst. Then the newly developed Plasmodium from the burst red blood cells is spread and infect more red blood cells throughout the body, thus killing all the cells. This can lead to severe liver infection. Sometimes the infected red blood cells become stickier than usual and clot easily, which can lead to stoppage of blood flow to the brain, causing cerebral malaria. Now, signs and symptoms. Malaria is recognized through the high fever. The temperature may reach as high as 40 degrees centigrade and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Fever is often accompanied by chills and may also include sweating. Patients may also suffer from constipation, kidney dysfunction, and disorientation. So, my dear students, as you already familiar with the term malaria, but do you know what is malaria? Malaria actually is a life-threatening disease. It's typically transmitted through the bite of an infected mosquito. Actually, infected mosquito carry the Plasmodium parasite. When this mosquito bites you, the parasite is released into your bloodstream. And once the parasites are inside your body, they travel to the liver where they mature. After several days, the mature parasites enter the bloodstream and begin to infect red blood cells. And within the 48 to 72 hours, the parasites inside the red blood cells multiply, causing the infected cells to burst open. Then the parasites continue to infect red blood cells, killing all the cells. This can lead to severe liver infection. And sometimes the infected red blood cells become so sticky, which can clot easily. It can also lead to stoppage of blood flow to the brain, causing cerebral malaria. And what is cerebral malaria? Cerebral malaria, the most severe neurological complication of infection. Now we talk about the common symptoms of malaria, including shaking chills, that can range from moderate to severe. High fever, I mean the temperature may reach at 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Sweating is also common symptoms as well as constipation, kidney dysfunction and disorientation. Hopefully you got the clear understanding about the malaria. Now is the time to discuss about or to read out the para about the causes of dengue. There are four types of dengue viruses, all of which are spread by mosquitoes. An infected mosquito spreads the virus through its saliva when it bites. Dengue can also be transmitted from one human to another. For example, infected blood used in a blood transfusion can cause dengue. It can also be caused by organ donation and can even be transmitted from the mother to the child. Once the virus enters the body, it circulates around the body, attacking white blood cells and other antibodies, thus affecting the immune system. The virus further replicates within the cell until the cell bursts and dies. The death of the white blood cells results in leakage of other fluid from the cells, leading to low protein fluid in the lungs and in the stomach area, low blood pressure, shock, and eventually death. Now, sign and symptoms. High fever is followed by severe body pain. Pain behind the eyes and decreased urine output is also common. Dengue-related eye pain often increases with bright light. Patient may also feel respiratory difficulties and intense headache. As the fever decreases, skin rashes may start to appear. Another symptom is excessive bleeding. As the virus attacks the capillaries, the smallest blood vessels in the body. When the capillaries burst, blood escapes from the bloodstream in severe cases. Bleeding is common in the nose and gums. The loss of blood can lead to decreased blood pressure and may eventually lead to internal bleeding, shock, and death. So it's a time to discuss dengue, my dear students. There are four types of dengue virus, as I read that couple of minutes before. The dengue virus is spread out through the saliva of an infected mosquito. Only few types of mosquito carry and transmit a disease. When a mosquito bites a person who has dengue virus in his blood, so the mosquito become infected with the dengue virus, and then an infected mosquito can later transmit that virus to healthy people by biting them. And do you know that the dengue cannot be spread directly from one person to another? In rare cases, dengue can be transmitted during organ transplantation or blood transfusions from infected donors. And there is also evidence that an infected mother can transmit the dengue virus to her child. But despite these rare cases, the majority of dengue infections are transmitted by mosquito bites. Dengue virus actually directly attacking white blood cells and other antibodies. This virus can also affect the immune system. And you know, the symptoms of dengue appear 3 to 15 days after the mosquito bite and include high fever and severe headache with severe pain behind the eyes that disappear when trying to move the eyes. Other associated symptoms are joint pain and the muscle pain, rash on the body, and vomiting. Skin rashes may start to appear. However, the symptoms of serious condition of dengue virus is excessive bleeding because when the virus attacks the blood capillaries, then the smallest blood vessels in the body burst, then blood escapes from the bloodstream. In severe cases, bleeding is common in the nose and gums. The loss of blood is really the cause of low blood pressure and may eventually lead to internal bleeding, which cause death. Now I'm going to read out the causes of chikungunya. This virus is also transmitted through mosquitoes. These mosquitoes live and breed near stagnant or polluted water and infected humans with their bite. Although the disease is not contagious, it can spread from an infected person to other. If the mosquito feeds on the infected person first and then bites other people, The chikungunya virus infects the muscle cells of the body. It stays there and reproduces until the cells dies. It then finds a new host cell to infect. Now, sign and symptoms. Chikungunya usually attacks the muscles, joints, skin, connective tissues, and even the central nervous system. It is usually accompanied by fever and skin rash. The skin rashes are almost identical to the dengue rashes. The patient may also suffer from headache, nausea, and vomiting. Because the virus destroys cells in the muscles and joint, patients experience muscles weakness and joint pain, which can be severe. Partial loss of taste is also reported by many chikungunya patients. The disease is rarely fatal and the virus remains in the system for 5 to 7 days. Once one recovers from this infection, one is immune to it for the rest of one's life. So it's the time to discuss about the explanation about the chikungunya. The virus of chikungunya is also transmitted through mosquito bites and it is viral disease. Although, dear students, chikungunya is not transmissible by directly through infected person. These types of mosquitoes which causes chikungunya live and breathe near stagnant or the polluted water. The chikungunya virus infects the muscle cells of the body and virus stay there and reproduces until the cell dies. Then the virus finds a new cell to infect. And most of the people infected with chikungunya and this virus will develop some symptoms. Symptoms usually bring 5 to 7 days after being bitten by an infected mosquito. The most common symptoms are fever and joint pain. Other symptoms may include headache, muscle pain, joint swelling, and skin rash. Chikungunya disease does not often result in death, but the symptoms can be severe and disabling. Most patients feel better within a week, but in some people, the joint pain may persist for months. And people at risk for more severe diseases, including newborns infected, older adults about 65 years old, and people with medical conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes. But once a person has been infected, he or she is likely to be protected from further infections. Now, there is a heading of similarities and differences in the sign and symptoms of the three diseases. The chikungunya virus is transmitted by the same mosquitoes that spread the dengue virus. Both chikungunya and dengue have almost identical symptoms and disease processes, so much so that one can be mistaken for the other. Both display joint pain, however, joint pain and inflammation caused by chikungunya are more intense and pronounced. On the other hand, low platelets count, high bleeding risk, and pain behind the eyes are the main symptoms of dengue. The main symptoms of malaria are chills, shivering, followed by fever, sweating. These symptoms usually occur every 2 days. So the last paragraph shows that the few things impact our life, similarities and the differences of those three diseases. I mean malaria, dengue and chikungunya. So, dear students, as I make you understand a little while ago that about the symptoms of three diseases, so both chikungunya and dengue have almost identical symptoms and diseases processes because both display joint pain, high fever, inflammation, whereas malaria's main symptoms are shivering, followed by fever and sweating. Now, prevention. In the prevention, there is the line written in your book that since there are no vaccine or medical ways to prevent these diseases, here are a few useful suggestions for protecting oneself from these diseases, like wear cloths that will keep you fully covered, use net coverings, live in hygienic surroundings, ensure that there is no stagnant water, whether clean or dirty, in your locality, not even in uncovered buckets, pots, cans, or other things. Apply good quality mosquito repellent lotion or and any one of the natural repellent products. Take extra precaution from dawn to dusk. Seek medical help as soon as possible. So, this is all about the prevention of the three diseases as we discussed before, the chikungunya, malaria, and dengue. Hopefully, you have understood all the prevention, the sign and symptoms about the dengue, malaria, and chikungunya. All these diseases, that is malaria, dengue, and chikungunya, affect a person's health. They affect the quality of one's work because it takes some time to recover from the weakness caused by them. Since they are all preventable and curable, it is important that we take all possible steps to protect ourselves and our family from these diseases. Moreover, we should seek immediate medical help if we observe symptoms of these diseases because the earlier they are treated, the quicker is the recovery. So, my students, in the last paragraph shows that few things impact our life more than a serious health problems. In the same way, malaria, dengue, and chikungunya affect a person's health as well as the quality of someone's work is also affected by these types of diseases. Because, as you already know, that if someone is infected from malaria, dengue, and chikungunya, then it can cause recurrent sick leave or the long-term absence from work. But actually, in the workplace, it is often assumed that the employees who are more satisfied with the physical environment are more likely to produce better work outcomes. So, obviously, we all know that these types of diseases in the workplace affect the work concentration and productivity. So, it is very important to take all possible steps to protect ourselves and our family from these diseases. Moreover, we should go to the doctor because we have to stay on top of our health, as well as doctor can provide prevention, health screening, and monitor our health over time. This allows them to catch diseases early and help you to manage them before they progress into more serious condition. So this is all about the text and the explanation about the three diseases, dengue, malaria, and the chikungunya. Hopefully you have understood all the explanation, whatever I have made you understand. Now it's a time to solve the exercise. In exercise 1, what you have to do, listen attentively, take the right answers, and the text is about A. The life cycle of a mosquito. B. Different kinds of dangerous mosquitoes. C. Diseases caused by mosquitoes. D. Use of pesticides for mosquito control. So the answer is C. Diseases caused by mosquitoes. Please take a screenshot so it will be easier for you to complete your work. Now in exercise 2, circle the diseases mentioned in the text that is present in unit 5.1. So there are a lot of, there are 12 diseases have mentioned there, but you have to find out those diseases which have mentioned in your text. So let's see how many diseases are there. Malaria, dengue, chikungunya, and the cerebral malaria. Cerebral malaria is also the severe condition of the malaria, okay? That is in the neurological condition. Now, in the vocabulary part, exercise 3, read the text, find the following words and underline them. So again, you have to read out the text and these words you have to keep it in your mind and then you have to underline the words while reading the text. Parasite, transmitted, saliva, clot, chills, constipation, dysfunctions, disorientation, transfusion, antibodies, immune, respiratory, stagnant, contagious, nausea, fatal, display, inflammation, intense, pronounced. So next work, what you have to do with the partner and try to guess your meaning from the context. After you have discussed the meaning of all these words, check your answer from the glossary given at the end of this book. Please take a screenshot. So this is all about the work of exercise 2 and exercise 3. Now, come on. Exercise 4. Walk in pairs and see how many of these words can you use in your own sentences. The pair that will make the most correct sentences will be the winner. It means whatever the words I have pronounced or I have read on exercise 3, you have to use these words in your own sentences. Okay? Now, exercise 5. Read the text and select the correct answer from the option given. Number 1, it is important to find out what the exact disease is so that B. A. The patient can rest. B. We can tell everyone about it. C. It can be treated properly. D. The patient can decide what to do. And the answer is C. It can be treated properly. Because if we can't treat it properly, the exact disease, so it can be important. Please take a screenshot. Now, exercise 5, we will continue on the next page. Sentence number 2. The malaria parasite attacks the A. White blood cells, B. Brain, C. Stomach, D. Red blood cells. So the answer is D. Red blood cells, because the malaria parasite directly attack to the red blood cells. Sentence number 3. Once the dengue virus enters the system, it affects the A. Immune system, B. Digestive system, C. Circulatory system, D. Nervous system. And the answer is A. Immune system, because the dengue virus actually directly attacking to the immune system. Now, sentence number 4. In severe cases of dengue, bleeding may occur in the A. Eyes and ears, B. Brain, C. Stomach and intestine, D. Gums and nose. And the correct answer is gums and nose. Option number D. Now, sentence number 5. Chikungunya patients usually have fever with A. Shivering, B. Rashes, C. Bleeding, D. Chills. And the correct answer is B. Rashes, because the chikungunya patients usually have fever with the rashes. Please take the screenshots. Okay, hopefully you have gotten the screenshot. Now it's a time to complete the exercise number 6, that is a post reading. Read the text and complete the following table in your notebooks. So this is all about the bookwork that is present in your book on page number 114. First disease is malaria, and the source of transmission is infected mosquito. The organ, or we can say cells attacked, is the red blood cells. And what are the symptoms? In the malaria, the symptoms are high fever with chills. Okay. Now, the second disease is dengue, and the source of transmission is also the infected mosquito and white blood cells. It means organ attack. Which organ attack? White blood cells. And what are the symptoms? High fever, pain, and rashes. Now, third disease is chikungunya. Source of transmission, mosquito live in water, stagnant water or the polluted water, you can say. Organ cells or the attack, muscle cells. What are the symptoms? Fever and skin rash. So this is all about the disease, source of transmission, organ cells attacked, and the symptoms of these 3 diseases. Please take a screenshot. It will be easier for you to complete the work in your book. Now it's a time to complete the question and answer that is present in your book on page number 114 and 115. So exercise 7 is discuss the following questions with your partner and write down the answer in your notebook. Question number 1 is, what are the most common diseases caused by mosquito bites? Answer is, the most common diseases caused by mosquito bites are malaria, dengue, and chikungunya. Question number 2, Which specific part of the body becomes highly infected in cerebral malaria? Answer is brain. Brain becomes highly infected in cerebral malaria. Question number 3. What can lead to severe liver infection when one has malaria? Answer is the parasite infects the red blood cells until they burst. Then the newly developed plasmodium from the burst red blood cells is spread throughout the body, killing all the cells. This leads to severe liver infection. Question number 4. How is the immune system affected through dengue? Answer is when the virus enters the body, it circulates around the body, killing white blood cells and other antibodies that affect the immune system. Question number 5. How often can one get infected with chikungunya and why? Answer is once one recovers from this infection, the person is immune to it for the rest of his life. So this is all about the question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Please take a screenshot. This is question number 5, 1 to 5 in this slide, and in the next page, on the page number 115, we will see the rest of the questions. Question number 6. Which two of the three diseases have similar symptoms and what are these? Answer is dengue and chikungunya have almost identical symptoms like both display joint pain and with high fever. Question number 7. How often does one have fever and chills when one has malaria? The answer is the main symptoms of malaria are chills and shivering, which usually occur after every 2 days. Question number 8. How do all these diseases affect our life? The answer is all these diseases affect the quality of one's work because it takes some time to recover from the weakness caused by them. Question number 9. How can we protect ourselves from these three diseases? Answer is preventions. So, how many preventions are there? To protect ourselves from these diseases, we should act upon the following advices. Very first, we should wear clothes that keep us fully covered. Number second, we should use net covering. Next prevention is we should live in hygienic surroundings. Number 4 prevention, we should ensure that there is stagnant water in our surroundings. The fifth prevention is we should apply good quality mosquito repellent or any natural repellent. Question number 10 is what should we do if we want to recover quickly from these diseases? The answer is to recover quickly from these diseases, we should seek immediate medical help if we observe symptoms of these diseases because the earlier they are treated, the quicker is the recovery. So this is all about the question number 10. So please take the screenshot. Please take the screenshot of this slide, question number 6, 7, 8, and 9. Here are the 4 questions and answer in this slide. Please take a screenshot. Now come on the question number 10. Please take a screenshot of question number 10. Now come on your home task. There are 3 tasks that I want to give you that write the meaning of all the words of exercise 3. Second task, use any 6 of the words of exercise 3 in your own sentences. The third task is write the answers of all the questions of exercise 7. So this is all about your copy work and those exercises which are given in your book and already has a provision in your book, already has a sufficient place, so you can do it in your book. Otherwise, the words and meaning and the question and answer, you have to do it in your fair copy in the text portion. Now, wish you best of luck for your next class. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.